Well, hi everybody, Bill here. Today we're going to take out the Tarter Landscape Rake. We're going to fly over some corn and I'm going to show you how it's thriving and let you know how it impacts your daily lives. Well, thanks for joining me for another video, everybody. I sure appreciate you taking time out of your busy lives. Today I've got a couple of chores here to do with the landscape rake, so let's get started and we'll talk about the specs as we go along. All right, in today's project, I want to scuff up this area and seed it, fertilize it, get it into grass. We had a lot of rain. You can see how muddy it's going to be. And this is before I had the top link. So if I wanted to change the angle of attack on those tines, I'd have to do it manually with the top link. Now, having a top link for as long as I have, it would be difficult to live without one. It just gives you such a versatility of changing the angle of your implements, and it just puts your implements like on steroids. So if you haven't bought one yet, I suggest and highly recommend looking into a hydraulic top link. Hey, let's take a look at some specs now. It says that this landscape rake is good for a tractor with horsepower between 19 and 45 horsepower. So it's perfect for the 1025 2038. I've got videos of it being used on both those tractors. It's a Cat 1 hitch. The rake width is 72 inches wide. It's 14.5 inches high. It has 36 teeth or tines. There's a 1 inch gap between each tine, and the tine itself is about 1 inch. You can angle that up to 45 degrees right or left. Weighs about 215 pounds. And if you notice that their implements are now in black, I kind of like that. We'll talk about that more later. And it is quick hitch compatible and has a 1-year warranty. They have a nice website. They call this the 200 series landscape rake. They describe it as excellent for smoothing, raking, contouring, gravel, or soil with its curved C tines. It'll clear rock and other debris off the side. The tines won't destroy your field by digging in too deep. And that's one thing I like about this. You notice it's just scuffing up that ground so I can get my seed and fertilizer on it. And then I'll run over it and attach it to the ground firmly. But it's really doing a nice job of scuffing up this dirt for seeding.
Impressive.
Hey, let's get some shout outs here while we watch this. Mark checked in from North Carolina. He's going to start using his soil pulverizer that he received. And then R3 Dog 700, he's considering a soil pulverizer after watching our video. Michael checked in from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. Southern Idaho checked in from Burley, Idaho. And Bill checked in from Eastern Tennessee. He's considering an everything attachment land plane. And Edward, you will not regret that. Everything attachments is pretty high quality. Hey, and Mark checked in. He's from Poland. And he let me know he's living in Oslo, Norway, and he's saving up for a new 2038.
Show me the money!
Good luck with that, Merrick. Wish you the best of luck. And I respond to everybody that checks in. Just let me know where you're watching from, and I'd love to get you on a shout out. Appreciate your support, everybody. Please consider subscribing, and if you've enjoyed this or got some entertainment out of it, please give me a thumbs up. It helps out the analytics quite a bit.
Stop pestering me if I do this for you.
You know, here's an example now of reversing those tines, and you can push all that debris back into the weeds or the woods or wherever you want to push it. So I do kind of like that when you're all done. Now we're going to go out onto the trails and some other areas where I've used it. One thing I haven't talked about yet is when you're reaching into the woods and you're pulling out wood and other debris, it's kind of nice to not be doing that by hand and be surprised by a snake or some other critter.
Snakes.
So I really like the landscape for that type of work. Here's another example of pushing rock and leaves and kind of the spoils that I don't want to be on that new lawn. Push it back here and out of sight. And it sure works really well. I've been a tine once, and you can purchase those. They're easy to put on, so I do like the design of that. All right, let's wrap this project up. I'm going to get some seed and fertilizer on here. I like to use a Trip 13 fertilizer, and then I use a Midwest seed for our climate here in Iowa. And here's what it looks like when it's all done, a good heavy coat of fertilizer and seed. I'll do a real light raking, get it in good contact with the ground, and we'll check back and see what it looks like here after a few months. All right, so on Saturdays I like to go out and look at my local implement dealer. He carries a lot of the Tarter equipment, and it was some while ago that they did change over to black, and black matches everything. Everything Attachments has been doing that too for a while, and I understand why they're doing that. Just go on through here and look at some of the prices, some of the equipment. Here we're kind of coming up on a landscape rake. You know, 7-8 years ago, I paid $300 for mine. Yikes, and they're $779. What is that, about $100 a foot for a 7-footer?
That's too high a price.
Always fun to come out and see what's new. I do like the Tarter logo on the side of this. Take a minute in the comments and tell me what you've seen on the implement prices in your area. Have you bought something 3-5 years ago, and what is it selling for now?
The money spending's good.
Be interesting for everyone to learn what around the country and around the world. We have viewers in Australia and Canada.
Canada, nice.
Germany. So let me know what you're paying for on implements over there. There's a tiller for $25.99. Oh, there's a set of forks. Oh boy, $11.49. Whew. Yeah, I'm so happy that I bought everything that I did purchase 7-8 years ago. Now, I have posted quite a few videos in the description below that shows you my implements on the 1025 and the 2038. So be sure and take a look at that if you have either tractor. Now, about 3 miles from this dealer, there's another dealer that carries King Cutter. So maybe we'll go over there on a field trip one of these days. So if you want a contest and you could pick anything out of this lot, what would you take?
I want all of it.
Of course we all do. I want to groom up my driveway a little bit now after we have the lawn project done. So it's kind of nice to just be able to drag and fill in the rain ruts and so on. So let's take a look at how that works for us. I'm going to put a link to my hydraulic top link in the description too. If you want to watch that or learn more about that, it's fun to watch these older videos when they didn't have the top link and how much more useful it is with that attachment, accessory, I guess you'd call it. And the warning or the manufacturer's label in here says, you know, be very careful backing up. I think they even say don't back up because you'll bend that tine so quick.
This will never end.
Right. I can take a hint. We're getting near the end. If you hung with me this long, thanks so much. But I'm going to show you a couple of examples here of being just real careful. Just very lightly, I'm going to take the top off this gravel and not bend anything up. So with a little practice, you can do it. Just be careful and aware of what may or may not happen. But it's a very versatile tool, isn't it? It dresses up a driveway real quick. I sure like it for that. All right, before we end today, I want to take you around to a few older videos. I'll be brief. I'm going to post these videos below if you want to take a look at how I used the landscape rake on a 1025 to get my pond back in good shape. Drop it into woods and timber that's been sitting there for a decade or so and pull it out and not get any surprises. Take a look at that video. Here's how the pond turned out when I was all done. The grass came in really well. Here's another cleanup project. I put some light bases in for some security cameras so the concrete spoils. I just raked them all up into a pile, and then I took the bucket and hauled them away to where I wanted to bury them. Here's another old favorite. I tore down the gazebo and then hauled in the little black dirt, and the rake is doing a very nice job of just spreading that out. So that rake is very handy implement. Encourage you to take a hard look at it. Someone asked me, can you use it on trails to groom a trail? And here's a couple of examples of that too. So let's wrap this up and let's go out to the airport. I want to take you out over some of the cornfields which are thriving this year.
Dubuque Tower 34 Whiskey 10 Go via Park. All right, we're cleared to take off. Let's go out and fly over some of the fields. This time of year is really pretty. We're going to start off with a couple of cornfields there over to the east and show you what they look like. How many acres of corn does Iowa plant a year? Take a guess. There you go. I'm not making this up. I saw this on the CBS Morning Show and I looked it up and confirmed it. What U.S. state is similar to the 20,000 square miles we plant in corn? Dean, you should know this. West Virginia, 24,000 square miles. Isn't that amazing that Iowa plants almost the entire state of West Virginia in corn? Well, where's that stuff used at? I looked that up also. Here's just a short list. There's look it up yourself there. The list is long, and I don't want to bore you with it. Now keep in mind as you look over this isn't the sweet corn you get at the grocery store and enjoy. This is field corn. All right, let me know what you thought of the new format, putting some humor in there as we go. Whoops, I'm getting low on fuel. I've got to head back to the airport. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. I sure appreciate it. We'll talk to you real soon. Be kind to each other, and please subscribe. So long, everybody.
I'm gonna eat some cornflakes.